Hello, I think we're recording now. Hi, I'm Jane Sibbett, and I am here with my friend Mahalia the mermaid. Do we call you Mahalia mermaid, or what should we call you today?
Yeah, love it.
I
Yeah, yes.
am so happy to see you, my friend. Aloha, how are you today?
Wonderful feeling the bliss, Jane, and so happy to see you too. Thank you for this union in this moment. So divine.
Well, we just had an amazing time up in the Pacific Northwest, and I'm so grateful to you because I also got to see a bit of your gift. And so I thought it would be fun for us to have a little chat right now so other people can hear about you as well in the sparkling circle that I love to create. So I want to know all about Brain Bliss and about how you started off on your amazing journey. Can you
Mm,
tell me?
Thank you, Jane. Thank you. Well, it seems like a long time ago that I was what I call awakened by swimming with the dolphins in the wild off Big Island, Hawaii, and hearing the whale sounds, the humpback whales singing in the ocean. And this one particular day, after being there for several months, I came out of the water in bliss, like really lit up as I was so happy. And I felt like my body was switched on, as though there was this light coming from inside of me out. And it was seriously feeling like heaven. Heaven really was on earth here, and it was coming from my body. And I was able that night I worked on a client, and she didn't really tell me what her issues were, but all of a sudden I had this ability to where I could see what looked like a little cloud around her head that turns out she had been punched in the head by a bully years ago, years
Mm.
earlier. And these sounds just came out of my mouth automatically when I saw that cloud appear. And backing up, she'd had recurring nightmares for several years since the trauma. And these sounds came out, and I saw this cloud beside her head just gradually dissolve and disappear. And it was really unusual for me because I'd never made these sounds before. And in fact, I'd been told most of my life not to sing or, just keep quiet, you know, good girl with my voice and just be calm. But no, these sounds came out, and I know they were connected with the whales and dolphins. So that was about 8 years ago. And that sweet client went on to have a good night's sleep that night. Next day I saw her, and she said she didn't have the recurring nightmare. She had a beautiful dream.
Mm.
And that was the start of Brain Bliss, which was about 8 years ago. And I've been doing research and development, working with many, many clients, developing 7 programs where I educate people on their brain function and brain optimization. Because what I've discovered with the issue of trauma is people get stuck in a looping cycle, like I was for several years from all of my head traumas. And that looping cycle can be habitual, and people don't even realize that that it is this what I call shadow frequency, keeping them in that looping mechanism and not able to really reflect their inner heaven on the inside, because every single person is an inner gemstone. They are a walking light sound being. They're like an instrument. So this other ability that was awakened with the whales and dolphins was my inaudible hearing. I was able to hear inaudible frequencies that
Mm.
we all have as children, and we tend to lose it as we grow and through challenges of life. But so now I can actually hear people's music, or hear if it's in tune and where it might be out of tune, and then we tune it with these sounds and with this invisible light frequency that is up on another dimension, very different, beautiful dimension.
Mhm.
It's been fun, really fun.
It's so amazing too. The uh, our connection, first of all, just from Hawaii and the whales and the dolphins, and to hear that. And you are not only working with clients and speaking to them, but you're also singing to them with the dolphin and the whale sounds. Isn't that right?
hmm I am. And well, it's quite simple. And really, I teach all of my clients, anyone, they can do this for themselves, because trauma vibrates as a delta frequency, deep,
Mm.
low, slow waves, as though it was like a whale moving in the ocean. So when I'm making whale tones, they come out as a delta frequency, and we work with what's called homeosonic medicine as opposed to homeopathic. So my delta sound that comes out of my mouth meets their delta frequency from their original trauma, and it cancels itself out in a way, so it recycles easily and gently back to the womb of creation, or the 0 point field is what I call. When that happens, a person lights up on the inside. Their gemstone switches on even more, and the past just gently melts away. So then the dolphin tones come along, and we share this higher alpha, beta, theta, like a faster brainwave, just like the dolphins move in the ocean, very playful, joyful. And people tend to, there is a bit of a resetting process, a cleansing process, and there's a tipping point that the brain and body and nervous system goes through that I always educate and coach my clients on: the importance of being gentle, of resting if the body feels like it needs rest, because truly the neural pathways are shifting. And the shadow frequency from the past is dissolving, but for some it can take longer than others. And when we get through that tipping point, we begin to see our life changing in a wonderful way: improvement, more happiness, richer relationships, maybe better quality of life, new jobs, new level of income, new just inner well-being, right? Because the neural acoustic regenesis is switched back on. So it's really not me giving them anything or taking anything away. I'm just reflecting this light sound within my own healthy body, and with the support of the multidimensional whale and dolphin light sound.
So if someone's having a session with you, can you talk me through how it might go?
Yeah.
So someone comes to you and says, having trouble sleeping, like your friend. And what would you do? How does that work?
So we would, like you and I are talking right now, we'd start merging. We'd have a little short conversation, and as we merge, we get into a bigger field and a bigger coherence. In that bigger coherence, then with remote viewing or medical intuition, this ability to see that we all have linked with our DMT or spirit molecule in our pineal gland, I'm able to see a little bit more into their brain and body and nervous system, able to hear it from a distance, because with light and sound, we are working beyond time and space, as you know. So
you don't need to be in the same room.
No, we can do it remotely. We can do it over the phone, over Skype. Minimum 4 sessions is required, and usually up to 8 is very beneficial. Now, we can also create wonderful adjustments without anyone hearing or seeing me. As I said, the light is on a much higher dimension. And the sound is wonderful and so potent. And it's like ultrasound beams coming direct from what I call the womb of creation that I'm connected to, down deep in the diamond core of Mother Earth. And we're looking at the diamond in the tailbone, diamond in the heart, diamond in the brain. And with this light that gets transmitted, it's really fun to explain. Many people ask about it. I just say it's like a warm cocoon. It's beautiful music connected with the universe and our sun, our great central sun. So when people allow themselves to just relax and get into their parasympathetic nervous system, which is resting, digesting, healing, and nourishing, this light, I'm able to see it go into their brain and body. For example, a client in Nashville had really horrific hallucinations from a medication he was on. And in just 4 remote sessions, without him hearing my voice or seeing me, was able to direct this light, I call Illumina technology, still connected with the whale and dolphin multidimensional consciousness, yet it's at a high, this frequency that the human ear can't really hear, yet able to direct it in a way so that we were able to clear his hallucinations and get him back on track in only 4 short sessions, maybe 20 minutes to 30 minutes, late at night. That's when I like to do a lot of my work.
So he was resting and you were tapping in. Is that how it worked with this particular client?
That's a way of saying it, yes. Yes.
No, I mean that you didn't necessarily need to be on Skype or on the phone. You were able to just tap into it. Is that how, am I getting that correct?
Yes. And that's actually what I've seen is almost more stronger than a person connecting with me one-on-one like this. But I love to do this too, and I love educating people. To me, so I've with my 3-month programs, it takes time for people to really understand how powerful they are and how genius they are, and how the habits of the brain keep them in certain situations, certain energies in their body. But if through time and through education, their brain and their realization of their Tesla brains, what I call it, the high neocortex, and their angelic dolphin brain, the prefrontal cortex, they get to feel their connection with source, their connection with higher consciousness. At the same time, they feel bliss in their body. They get their molecules of and neurotransmitters of bliss moving all the time. I always feel this running and pulsing through me, like anandamide, dopamine, serotonin, oxytocin, the DMT. We're working with adamantine particles here that are everywhere around us at all times. The colloids of light and life from the universe, biophotons, bioluminescence. So when we smile, we emit bioluminescence from our cheekbones, our throat area, and our forehead. And it's been measured by scientists. So that's why being happy and smiling is a wonderful way to be like a firefly out in the world. Like we're letting out light.
The educational component of what you do is so key to so many who really want to start taking their health back, their happiness back, their prosperity back. Do you have special programs where you go for months with clients to teach them how to do this, as well as raising their frequency to this level?
I do. I have Brain Bliss, the Brain Bliss Reboot, which is like level 1, 3-month program, 12 weeks. And it's really easy to access. It's just they get a 1 email a week that gives them the outline for that week, and then they get 2 calls on, it's probably usually a Wednesday morning and evening call. And Brain Bliss Unleash Your Brilliance is level 2. So that's more advanced brain education, body, heart connection. You know, it's all in there. There's so much we work with, quarks, the Kundalini energy, the really the unraveling of emotion from the heart. And then I have Lady Bliss program, which helps women unravel any trauma from their past, awaken their own sexual potency, to have alignment with inside of themselves, that confidence. That's a 13-week program. Relationship Bliss is really fun because it's educating people on understanding the difference between the male brain versus the female brain, how really quite different we are, and why it's so valuable to have creative communication when we're connecting with the opposite sex. Because the way girlfriends speak together is one way, but what men receive and understand from our languaging is different, and what we receive from them is different. So I love that. And then there's Body Bliss. We do a dance-a-thon, movement. Dancing is so key. And there's more. But as it's on my mind, another very important element that everybody experiences is I teach and share the importance of giving a voice to their emotion. So we have been taught as humans to really hold things inside. Maybe not taught that, but it's just been in our reality and in the collective consciousness. But if we look at animals in nature, most of them will emit sound when they are happy, challenged, sad, angry. And so it's a big component that I teach people to really voice or vocalize their feelings, and they feel fantastic after. But not only their current in the moment now feelings, but it's what was buried inside of them from the past. So many of my clients have a lot of deep grief, sadness, sorrow inside of their bones and bone marrow. And we go right to the core. We go very deep with Brain Bliss and the Academy. It's so important that we start to unravel and feel fresh and new, because that's what Mother Nature has built inside of us, is this ability to regenerate, ability to self-regulate and really be switched on and be happy. And the bliss really means true contentment and joy, and it can equal nirvana, like an orgasmic energy flowing through our body, which is our ability to stay healthy. It's when we feel that, or when I feel that, I feel that regeneration always taking place. Then we can so
great, and so important. And then from there, everything opens up. Yes.
Yes.
From that great place of bliss.
It
and
truly
contentment and harmony. It's so exciting. So where do people find out about your ongoing courses or how to have sessions with you? Where do they go?
Well, my website is brain-bliss.com. And from there, people can read a little bit about the program, see testimonies, and they can always email me. The email's there, home@brain-bliss.com. And I'm available on social media as well. So in the new year, 2018, I hope to be doing some more fun events, maybe weekend events, dancing.
Yes.
You.
You gotta have dancing, I know. So for those who are watching this, we are definitely hoping on having some collaborative event together to do this as well. But for right now, I really want people to check your site out. So it's, what is it again? Say it again.
brain-bliss.com. So
Brain-bliss.
in there. And or they could look up mahaliamichael.com. Last name Michael, like Archangel Michael. Mahalia.
Yes.
And my website and branding has been gradually morphing. So there will be a new website coming sometime in the early new year, hopefully. And my my book, not new, is going to be a little bit of a upgrade itself. Yippee. And
'tis the season for the upgrade, so it's perfect timing. Perfect timing.
Time to upgrade everything.
Yeah.
It's so fun, though. It's so exciting because I'm very passionate about the well-being of our whales and dolphins.
Yes.
We need oceans to be happy. We need our whales and dolphins to be safe and protected. Whales help us to breathe here on planet Earth. They do so much in the water, and so do dolphins, to allow us to have our oxygen, to live the way that we do. Plus, their songs, their music, their frequencies have codes, have such an intelligence. Whale teeth carries all the records of all of the universes, all of the core of Mother Earth, all the records of the creatures of the sea, the intelligence of the ocean. And the dolphins carry this high light frequency that gives us the ability to be superhuman, to be super genius. What Dr. Michael Cotton, he talks about as being the new epoch, about luminous humans. So homo luminous, meaning we are stepping into more of our light. And the safer and happier our whales and dolphins are all over the world, and there's enough of an ocean that can look after all of them, the safer and healthier and happier humans, I feel, will be as well. There will just be this new level of light and love and connection, peace and unity. And we are, I feel, hungry for that. I feel we're ready for that. We are asking for that. We need a big uplift and a reset into our higher brain. So when people are in their higher neocortex, the newer part of the development of the human brain, they're up and out of the lower primal brain and the limbic brain. These two are basically survival mechanism and old thinking process linked with old emotional reactivity responses and old memories. So you can imagine that if 7 billion people are still stuck down in this part of their lower brain, they're continuing to loop the past and loop those dramas and traumas and stay stuck. But
am I correct to say that when some of the work that I do, they're looping past that they're not even aware of from their own life, but from ancestors as well. Absolutely. Are you seeing that same thing in your work? Yeah.
Absolutely. Yes. Yeah. Yes. And it's so loving and so gentle and really not difficult to come up into the higher brain. It is not a difficult task. With a little bit of education and some luminous, compassionate, really just a devoted light sound, and some gentle patience and nurturing of their human body, of their human brain and heart, a person can truly rise to a new vibration very easily. And it's such a joy for me to witness that and to be a conduit, or I call myself a conductor or a reflector of that. And yeah, I want people to be super excited about knowing and understanding their brain and knowing and understanding the connection to their heart and their gut. So like I eat just very light foods, lots of raw fermented foods, organics, because I know my gut brain is connected with my head brain. So imagine, like, we all just want to be flowing like water in our bodies, just in flow. And when people have risen up into their higher brain area, then there wouldn't be as much fighting on the planet. There just wouldn't be as much hurt and miscommunications and attacks and all of the things that we see on the news, which I really don't want
We don't want to watch too much of these days.
But that's
Right.
an example of a lower brain, primal brain, and limbic brain mechanism.
Yeah.
So we don't have to live like that, and it's a new earth. Time to rise and shine and sparkle and glitter.
Right back to the harmony. It's so beautiful. I'm so grateful to have this conversation with you too. So again, brain-bliss.com, brain-bliss.com. To see you, to work with you, to learn from you, to connect with you, hopefully to dance with you too. And I'm so grateful. Anything else you want to say before we wrap this up? Anything else you want people to know about your work, or you? Any testimonials you'd like to share about anything that's happened? I remember hearing some really good ones when we were together. Anything else you want to share?
I want to share that for anybody who is uncertain or questioning or curious, but they are still on the fence about it, that I have for 3 years now offered a free group session on the first of every month at 9 a.m. Pacific time. And my next one is January 1st, 2018 at 9 a.m. Pacific. I do these calls rain or shine, no matter what day it is. And it's a 20-minute experience. So on my website, if you see Free Bliss, you just click on that. And there's a conference line number you dial into with a passcode, and I'll be there. And you'll experience the light sound. And some people have just only come on those free monthly calls. They haven't had sessions with me, and that's wonderful. They get a benefit from it. And if that's all that you can do and all you choose to do, fantastic. I love to be in service this way. And it's one way I feel like I can give back, because I truly know the deep challenges and struggles that people face with head trauma and heart trauma. So broken heart and broken brain, I lived with for many, many, many years. And that is one other big factor I offer, is that deep understanding and what people go through in their recovery phase. It has to take a certain amount of hunger and a certain amount of commitment to rebuild ourselves. And if you have that hunger and commitment, anything is possible. Sky is the limit. You deserve it. You're worthy. And the world is your oyster, really, when we let the past dissolve and we rise up. And yes, some people have come off of medications. They have, quit certain addictions. They have just had more abundance, more joy, more happiness and lightness of being. And I also offer a lot of little simple easy tools to apply, like your sounding and humming and really just movement, even dance, all the things that help the left right hemispheres of the brain to reconnect, help the neural pathways to grow up. And then there's lots to share, So that's not all I was going to say. Thank you.
I know that we could talk for hours about all that you've experienced in the years that you've been doing this. And I just want to express my gratitude to you again for this work that's just astonishing and beautiful and so needed right now. I think there is a great hunger on planet Earth for people to really finally align with their joy and their happiness and their heart and their total health. And I know that you're one of those people out there that can really, really help. So my sister, I am grateful to you, and I look forward to dancing and toning and singing whale songs and all sorts of, we had so much fun in the circle, so I look forward to that again. And thank you, my friend.
Mermaid songs.
Yes, all of that wonderful stuff. So thank you. So brain-bliss.com. And,
I do want to share one more thing, Jane.
Okay, darling. Yes.
So science has proven that we're 99% energy and only 1% physical matter. And I feel that you and I both work in the 99% energy invisible world. But really that invisible world is coming to the forefront.
True.
So our physical 1% of our body is calling out now for our connection to the invisible world. And the connection is to this heavenly music, this universe full of infinite love and infinite support for us. And it's nothing to be afraid of. It's really something to be excited about and to embrace. And that is heaven on earth, from inside of our bodies, all around our bodies, with our friends, family, loved ones, with our communities, our cities, our countries, our world. And it's something to rejoice in, I feel. So the invisible realm is here for us. And the whales and dolphins and mermaids are very much a part of that.
It certainly is. And this timing is perfect. So thank you. Thank you. Thank you again. And we'll continue this conversation again soon. Yes?
I'd love to.
Thank you so much. Big hugs and kisses.
Thanks for listening, everybody.
Yes. brain-bliss.com. Yes. Oh, yes.